What up, folks? Welcome back to Ultrazilla Toys, and this is my top 17 of 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. I am here in the prestigious Ultrazilla Toys kitchen, where I've been the last week. Figured I might as well do my top 17 video here, because after being sick all week, I couldn't get into the studio to clean up, which is what I wanted to do ahead of this video. So here we are in my kitchen, enjoying a nice espresso. There's actually espresso in here. I wanted to make that the opening, but it was so loud, so it's what it is. Cheers. And cheers to all of you guys. Before we begin, I really want to thank each and every one of you that has subscribed, has commented, has hit the like buttons, even the ones that hit the dislike buttons. You know, at least you're contributing, you know, and I'm getting some sort of reaction out of you. I thank you all for a pretty incredible year. Definitely heartened where this channel has gone this year. It's done that, I hope, by the power of like just doing and repeating and working and going at it, you know. I filmed well over 200 reviews and way more just videos this year. That is nuts. So I really want to thank you guys for watching and participating on the channel. I hope more of you do as we move forward. I also want to thank my friends at Muteki Sales. Your support has been so huge here. So really want to thank you guys, and I hope our relationship grows over the coming year. I also want to say a thank you to TF Direct, who we started a little bit of a relationship this year, and I hope that grows. So yeah, two very cool retailers. Check them out. They've been really kind to me. So I just want to say an overall thank you and Happy New Year to all of you. A little espresso break there. With the whistle, because now we got a lot of toys to look at. This list was not easy to compile. 17 of 2017 is a lot of toys, and there's no honorable mentions here, because if you didn't make it onto a list of 17, I don't want to mention you, you know. Not saying that there wasn't a ton of great toys this year that didn't make this list. Entire toy lines did not make this list. It's not a matter, and I'm not giving anything away, because, you know, that's why you watch a video like this, right? It's not a matter of some of those toys being bad, because there was a lot of good toys and a lot of good toy lines and things I really enjoyed. I just had to cut stuff, you know, like it took a long time to make this. I've been working on this list for a good month now. And a lot of things came and a lot of things went, and it was, you know, until like right before I started filming pieces of this video that it changed. It changed a few times, and I'll talk about them as we get into the process here of revealing the top 17 of 2017. Number 17. Storm Collectibles, ZANGIEF. This is one beefy figure. My overall toy line of the year was probably Storm Collectibles' Street Fighter line. It came out of nowhere, and it's a company I never heard of, and it just kind of blew us away this year, you know, like between these guys and Mortal Kombat and a few of the other things they did as well. You know, they just kind of burst onto the scene and were like, here's our really unique feeling toys, and you know, much bigger than all your other toys. And yeah, they just kind of came and like just kind of floored me because they just feel so different. And toy collecting, I think, needs that. It needs like different toys to make you appreciate the different ways to make toys, you know, and the artistry of the toy. ZANGIEF here is, to me, so far the cream of the crop of that line. Like, I haven't reviewed this guy yet, but he is awesome. Like, I love this guy. And that's the thing with a lot of the toys here, you know, and I'll say it right here. I didn't review a bunch of these yet, so stay tuned in the new year here, because you're going to see a lot of interesting reviews, including this guy. Look at him. He is just huge. Yeah, but with this guy, I feel like I want to talk about the line, because it's just like, it's so interesting and so cool, and so different. I keep saying that, but they just feel different from like a lot of soft plastic, which is odd, but it makes the movements a lot better. It makes you do different things with them. It's very, very cool. So yeah, number 17 was ZANGIEF. Awesome.
Number 16, MEDICOM VCD Black Getter.
Happy birthday to me. Seriously, this was one of the awesomest birthday gifts I ever got. This VCD Black Getter. I love Black Getter. One of the coolest super robots ever, in my opinion. Just an amazing aesthetic, and this big guy. And another theme of my my top 17 here is bigger might just be better, as far as I'm concerned, apparently. So as you'll see, and this guy is pretty huge, and he looks great. This is like a pretty much a static figure with like just a couple, like 1 point of articulation, I think it was. 2, his head moves. But I mean, egad. What an amazing figure. Like, I love it. I mean, you know, you gotta put in stuff like X Plus and, you know, these guys, and even the Kotobukiya stuff, like these kind of plastic vinyl statues are, you know, making their way into the action figure world. Like, people call them figures. And, you know, I talked about this last year with my overall number 1, which was the X Plus Mechagodzilla. You know, it is what it is. That's the figure world we're living in.
Number 15, DC Multiverse 12-inch Wonder Woman.
High end to low end, I really don't discriminate when it comes to toys. I like them all. I collect a lot of different things, and I think this list really showcases that. Hence, here's like my Mattel DC Multiverse Wonder Woman. This is the 12-inch version, and I love this figure. I think they did a really great job with this one. It really looks like Gal Gadot to me. Like, really, really, really does. Better than the S.H. FIGUARTS. For serious, you know? And it is a really nice figure with, you know, an okay articulation, but it just has a presence for me. Like, and it's really cool, and the paint is actually very, very nice. If you didn't get this figure, you know, because you kind of poo-poo on Mattel's line, well, you're kind of missing out. This is a great, great figure, and I think so far the best version of DC's Wonder Woman.
Number 14, MEZCO Mega Scale Thundercats Glow in the Dark MUMM-RA.
We are getting bigger and bigger, aren't we? MEZCO's glow-in-the-dark MUMM-RA is one outstanding, super cool figure. It is a reissue of an older, I think it was SDCC exclusive. However, this particular one, you know, glowed in the dark. And that's the thing, and I said this last year as well, like, reissues have to factor in because they're going back to the factory to make them again. It's not like it was like a continuous, you know, line of it. This was out of print for a long time, and they put it back and they added in the awesome glow-in-the-dark feature. And it just blows me away, like, more so than the Lion-O did, which had a really nice extra head that they added to that one, that re-release. But this one is just so much cooler, you know, and MUMM-RA is awesome. The sculpt is incredible on this. I love all the straps, the cloth straps. I love the cloth tattered cape. It looks really great. Head sculpt is amazing. There's nothing bad to say about this one, except I guess articulation, but it's not really for that, you know, like, it just like Wonder Woman, and more so even, it just really commands a presence, and it looks so fantastic on the shelf. Really, really glad I did pick this up, and very happy to include it on this list.
Number 13, LANARD Toys, Kong Skull Island, King Kong.
Ultrazilla Jr. is here.
Ultrazilla Jr. here.
And who do we have here?
King Kong.
What?
King Kong.
King Kong, yeah. You know, first off, I want to thank this little guy for being in a lot of videos this year. He's definitely my little partner in crime with all toy collecting, and I want to include him in with this one because he likes this guy. All right. So this Kong is super cool, you know, like, and this is what I'm saying: low end, high end. You know, what makes a good toy? You know.
Yeah.
This guy is awesome. I really, really liked it. LANARD Toys really, like, just came out of nowhere with this line, while the rest of it is like, well, you know.
That's funny.
Yeah, this guy, I love this piece. $25 for this huge, huge figure that has a really good sculpt and surprisingly good paint, you know. Not a ton of articulation, but I don't need it. I don't really need it. I like this guy a lot, and definitely had to include him in this list.
Number 12, TAKARA TOMY, Movie the Best, MB11, Optimus Prime.
Let's talk. MB11 here. This thing blew me away. From transformation to just overall aesthetics, you know, paint apps, whatnot. It just is gorgeous. I had to decide between this and the masterpiece movie Optimus, which is basically the same thing. And I chose this one. Not that I want to really talk about the other one too much, but the other one had issues, even as a masterpiece, you know. This one, which is like a remolded, you know, best, I guess the original mold was in 2007, and they reworked it a bunch of times. I could be wrong about that, but I know for sure with this one, you know, there's extras going on here, including a new sound chip and just enhanced paint, and I don't know, man. This one just like, this is a much better movie Optimus for me, and I struggle with that, you know. Like, the other one has die cast, and there's so much to like about the movie one, but there's also a lot of things that I didn't like about it, and I'll talk about that further in a review because I've yet to review that or this one. But yeah, end of the day, I couldn't stop playing with this one. I really, really love it. It's super awesome. It's like a definitive version of like this Buster Optimus Prime to me.
Number 11. NEOART Toys NT09 Leonidas Beast Muscle EVA color matching.
I am not one that shies away from KOs or the whole controversy of KOs. I believe it's a big part of toy collecting and in general. And if one day you want to debate the whole thing, I'm up for it. But don't come at me with like third-party debates, because you're going to lose every time, okay? For me, a crook is a crook is a crook. So, yeah. This is a KO of the Perfect Effect Leonidas. But they didn't do it like this, that's for sure. The EVA 01 colors really does it for me as an EVA 01 fan, and I was just blown away by this piece. I really like it. It would have been higher had the transformation been a little cooler, had the actual alt mode looked better. You know, alt mode's not so good, but on the strength of this alone, I mean, it is where it is, and I really love it. It's so super cool. They did a fantastic job with this. Really love it, you know. One of my longest, if not my longest, review that isn't like a Voltron combiner or multiple figures, you know.
Number 10. S.H. FIGUARTS Bruce Lee Yellow Track Suit version.
Top 10. Bruce Lee. He's back. He was in my top 10 last year. S.H. FIGUARTS keeps making good Bruce Lee figures. What can I do? And he's my only S.H. FIGUARTS in here, and I did get some pretty decent FIGUARTS. But yeah, Bruce Lee once again makes it for me. The Game of Death tracksuit version, which I really love this outfit. You know, an unfortunate movie, of course, but, you know, iconic in the look. And, you know, FIGUARTS nailed it, as they did the first time, you know, so, man, like, I just love this figure. It's super cool. I think it's like a figure that I think I've appreciated even more, like, after my review, like, posing it around and getting it in place. I like have an overall, like kind of fighting spirit, as I like to call it, shelf. And I hope to show you guys soon that whole thing. So, but yeah, Bruce Lee, he's the man.
Number 9. Transformers Movie Masterpiece MPM03 Bumblebee.
While Masterpiece Optimus didn't make it, his little buddy Bumblebee surely did. This figure is awesome. There's no doubt about it. I really like it. It's super cool. Yet another one that I didn't review yet, but wow, it is for me, like, you know, the perfect Bumblebee, movie Bumblebee. I just think it's super slick. Very well done. And it had some competition this year. We had the Zhang Battle Hornet, which I also picked up. Kind of a disappointment. But this guy, another funny thing about this one, a funny thing about this is, before today, I had eliminated this guy maybe a couple of days ago off the list. And when I went to pick up all my figures from my studio today to bring them up here for this, he was right there. And I just started fiddling with him again, and I'm like, what am I thinking? What was I thinking? For real, what was I thinking? And I brought him up here, And I started comparing him and like playing around with him a little more. And boy, not only did he come back, he came back hard to be all the way in the top 10. So, yeah, this is a great one, guys. You know, if you're a Bumblebee fan, you haven't picked this guy up yet, he's available at TRU. Go get him. You're going to like him.
Number 8. Sentinel Riobot R16 Nerve vs. Godzilla Anti-G Weapon Shiryu Prototype Unit 01.
When you talk about the artistry of toys, you have to talk about Sentinel. These guys know what they're doing. They put a lot of thought, a lot of interesting engineering into their figures. And this crossover figure of Godzilla, Mechagodzilla mostly, and EVA 01 is just an incredible feat of all of that. It is a beautiful figure, super gorgeous, with like design cues taken from Zilla, taken from Zone of Enders, EVA again, Mechagodzilla, all tossed into one. And it is a big wow. The only reason this figure is a little bit lower, and it's in my top 10 obviously, but it could have been higher if it wasn't for the price. It was really expensive, you know, as an import, and you know, that brought it down a little bit, to tell you the truth. But otherwise, I love it, you know, like, in a year where I hoped there was more than one Mechagodzilla, now I'm looking at you, Chogokin Mechagodzilla poster version. Little disappointed in a few aspects of that one, but we'll get into that when I review it. This one, this is awesome.
Number 7. Figma Metroid 3 Samus Aran.
Sometimes right out of the box, a figure just feels fantastic. You know, like as soon as you start moving it around and, you know, just getting a feel for the plastic, which is very important in my eyes. That's why I love like the Storm Collectible stuff. They bring something different to the table. This Samus Aran that Figma did is without a doubt the best Figma figure I've ever played around with. You know, it might be lacking in some like accessories and whatnot, but it is absolutely gorgeous. A fantastic finish to this figure. Like, it's pretty flawless. The articulation, and Figma's known for pretty smooth joints. This has it well beyond that. It is a joy to pose around. Just an incredible representation of Samus Aran, and I just absolutely love it. It's so cool. I mean, just, you know, look at that. It is just incredible, you know, like, they did such a good job with this, guys. I can't say anything bad about it. So awesome. So awesome.
Number 6. ICARUS Toys United Gokin Dark Lion Force Voltron.
I am so happy to say in the past year, Voltron has had such a resurgence. I love it. One of my favorite characters of all time. You know, right up there with Godzilla is Voltron, and we have had some really cool stuff on the low end and on the high end. And this is one of the high-end ones. This is the ICARUS Toys Dark Lion Force Voltron. It is so heavy. This is one awesome piece of Gokin. So much diecast in this. It is crazy heavy. It is crazy cool. Like, God, I always wanted a Voltron in like these dark colors, And I'm glad it's like, you know, a different design than we were used to as well. Whether or not Icarus Toys actually got this license is up for debate, but I don't care because I was getting this no matter what. It just looks so cool. It comes with a lot of accessories, a lot of really cool accessories, like you saw the blazing sword, you know, like actual blazing sword, you know, like wow, they did such a great job with this. You know, my one issue, real issue that I had in the review is it does, the paint on it, the finish does chip very easily, and that's a bit of a shame. I don't know where they are now. Oh, I see it. There was one like real chip in there, but even with that, I couldn't help to place it as high as I did, and that's probably the only thing that even made it this low. Could have been even higher, but yeah, wow. Oh, so good looking, so incredible, so glad. It's expensive, no doubt. It's expensive. You know, in a year where I spent a lot of money on figures, this guy was up there as one of the most expensive of the lot. So, but had to do it because it is a just plain. That was Ultrazilla Jr. Plain wow.
Number 5, S.H.MONSTERARTS Shin Godzilla 4th Form Godzilla Store Limited Color Version.
Top 5, and you didn't think we could get through a 2017 list of 17 figures without Godzilla, could you? Not an Ultrazilla list, guys. Not on my watch. This amazing G-Store exclusive limited color Shin Godzilla is an absolute stunner. Finally, after 3 attempts, we really get to see how amazing this sculpt was. Like, it is an absolute thing of beauty. And you know, you can see why they kept putting it out, because they wanted people to see how awesome they did. They didn't do a great job with the paint the first time. The Awakening version was on this list as well, and I took it off for Bumblebee. Bumblebee came back, I took Awakening Shin off. It is what it is, happens. Really good figure though. I really like Awakening Shin. I love the beams, but you do lose a lot of a sculpt work in the more translucent purple plastic that they did. Here you don't. You just see everything in these really awesome limited colors. It is amazing, guys. Like, gorgeous. You know, and it wasn't a big year for S.H.MONSTERARTS. A line that I absolutely adore. You know, a lot of repaints. We did have the G17 recently, and that was lurking around the list till about this morning. Then I had to eliminate it because ultimately the little paint flecks really bothered me too much for me to say really that I wanted to put it on this list. And I to tell you the truth, as far as like a favorite, it wasn't even my favorite G17 so far. I think that goes to the "Hey, you want some bagels?" movie Monsters series one, you know. But this, I am so happy to include him. Definitely in my top 5 of amazing. And the little guys, the second and third forms were nice as well. But it was this guy that's an absolute stunner. So awesome. Godzilla has to be on my list, always.
Number 4, Zhang Model Wizard RENDSORA.
So the last night actually had some really cool designs, and I didn't really mind the movie that much, to tell you the truth. I know a lot of people hated it. I'm not a hater. I've liked the Bayverse movies, so last night kind of did it for me as well. Especially Megatron, because it gave us probably what is the coolest movie Megatron to date. And I want to also thank Hasbro for translating that design into a great Voyager class figure that Wei Zhang then took and made way better in the form of RENDSORA here. Giant, oversized, clear red translucent plastic here for the sword, as well as this middle piece. It just gave it a really awesome finish. There's die cast in this guy as well, and it is an incredible piece. Another piece I didn't review yet, but it is so awesome. I've loved it. I've loved messing around with it since it's been next to my computer the entire time since I've bought it, and just I pick it up and marvel at it every once in a while because it's just so cool. And yeah, I know the KO thing, but hey, you know what? If they're doing it better, I even like the Black Mamba KO more than the Hasbro. It is what it is, you know. And I got the Hasbro, so hey, I'm supporting everybody. But wow, no doubt this is one of the best figures of the year. It is incredible. Go get it, guys. If you like this design, this is the ultimate version of this design. No doubt.
Number 3, MEZCO 1/12 Collective Punisher.
The story of me and MEZCO Punisher really quick. I pre-ordered this guy, I canceled it. I pre-ordered this guy, I canceled it. Ultimately decided not to get it at the time of release. It sold out super quick everywhere. It went up in the aftermarket a lot. And I just said, forget it. You know, it was over. Come NYCC, I get to the front of the line on the MEZCO line, and I'm talking to the art director of MEZCO, my pal, and he informs me, yes, they found a box of Punishers, and they brought it to the show. I flipped out. I had to have him. I had to buy him. And I'm so glad I did, because it is one of the best figures of the year. And it might be one of the best figures of next year. And it was one of the best figures of last year. And you know what I'm saying? It is an all-time awesome figure, I think. They just nailed the aesthetic of what like a gritty, awesome, somewhere in between like a more realistic and more cartoony Punisher should be. Kind of like a Tim Bradstreet look. This head is incredible. It is so cool. I can't wait to actually formally review this guy. I've only had him out of package a few weeks now, and I've just been like messing around with him. Comes with a load of stuff, and wow. You know, like, I mean, it is like a more modern take on the Punisher. They did do a classic one, but I feel like in this, with this look that they gave him, I feel like this modern take is the way to go. You know, like, it just looks great. It just looks fantastic. I am so blown away by this figure. You know, I mean, there's an argument that this is the best figure of the year. There is. You know, as far as like a pure action figure, this probably takes it. You know, like, this does. You know, as far as like a regular, you know, a 1/12 scale figure, this is the best for sure.
Number 2, Toy Alliance Moss 01 Mega Action Optimus Prime.
This guy right here is incredible. I want to thank Toy Alliance for giving us the ultimate non-transforming, bless your souls, Optimus Prime. Now, you can consider this a regular action figure. I cannot, you know, it's just too big. I guess maybe he'd probably be in scale with a 112 type figure. You could probably get away with putting one in there if it would transform. Again, it does not. Thank you. And oh my god, this big boy, as a huge Optimus Prime fan, like, for me, was the ultimate Optimus Prime. Giant, chunky, like, and just everything you might want with an Optimus, you know. Oh, again, another one I haven't reviewed, just because I don't even know how, like, to go about reviewing something that, like, this big yet. I'm gonna try soon enough, maybe really soon, actually. Because, you know, when you make something number 2, it's just like, yeah, it's interchangeable with number 1 almost, in a way, any other year. But this guy, like, is just amazing. This is his Matrix, and I just love it, guys. I don't know what to say. Like, I can't say enough. He's super heavy. You could walk around with him in, like, a Baby Bjorn, you know, like, just take him, you know, go have a coffee with him. Like, you could do so much with him. He's a buddy. He's your buddy. You're the Optimus Prime buddy you always wanted. There he is.
Number 1, the Bandai Soul of Chogokin GX71 Go Lion Voltron.
We reached the end of the journey, and none more proudly than with the Soul of Chogokin Voltron. Wow. One thing I want to clear up for those that might be going, Tamashii released this on December 29th, 2016, and I didn't say this at the top, but I just wanted to, because I didn't want to, like, even spoil the idea. You know, I can't get my hands on something that comes out on December 29th in Japan. Therefore, usually final week worths of stuff that come out is usually, for me, considered the next year. So this coming year, I'll probably have some interesting choices to make, because there was a few things that came out this past week that I might have been able to get my hands on, but I couldn't, because I couldn't really go hunting this week. We'll cross that bridge next year. Who knows if those toys are even good. This guy was not going to fall into some sort of weird zone. There's no way I could get this guy. I couldn't import it fast enough to make my list for last year. So he definitely is the first thing that went on the list this year that I knew for sure was going to be in my top 2017 list. So, and not only that, but I knew it was going to be number 1 from the very beginning, and it's defended its title really well, and there's nothing bad I can say about this. It is absolute perfection. It is the classic design done with a modern sensibility to engineering, to design, to everything. I mean, it is classy, it is super heavy, it is an outstanding piece, and I mean, Bandai really outdid themselves here. And as I said in, when I talked about the Dark Lion Force one, Voltron is, as far as super robots go, is my number 1. I have 3 favorite things: Godzilla, Voltron, Optimus Prime. Those are my 3 favorites, and I will collect a lot of those. So but yeah, this takes the cake. This is the pinnacle of my collection, the centerpiece of my collection, the thing that other toys that are gonna come out in the future will struggle to ever get to the level of nostalgia, of like love that this piece has given me this past year. I mean, I don't know. I have no clue what could possibly do it. You know, like I really don't. Like some amazing Godzilla 1975, maybe. You know, like X Plus had their shot. To me, they blew it. It didn't appear on this list, did it? That's my favorite Godzilla. So this 74, 75. Give me one of those that are really, really awesome, and maybe we'll talk. You know, somebody do it. And do a good one. Do it. And Mechagodzilla as well. Mechagodzilla 75 from last year. X Plus had that feeling for me. But it's not the same as this, guys. This is on another level. It's gorgeous. It is amazing. If you didn't get your chance to get it, I hope they reissue it at some point for you, because the aftermarket is nuts on it already. I mean, this was sold out within a month, I think, if that. So yeah, Bandai did an amazing job with this. Thank you, Bandai, because as far as adult collecting goes, you not only and I feel like I'm getting a little teary-eyed here, you not only wowed and floored me and heartened me as an adult collector, but the kid in me that loves Voltron, that grew up with Voltron, you know, thanks you from the bottom of my heart. And that's it, gang. I want to thank you all once again for subscribing, for watching all of my reviews and all my other videos here on the channel. It's been an incredible year. Thank you all again. Thank you to Techie Sales again. Thank you to TF Direct again. Also, thank you to Steven of Steven's Toy Reviews for being a great supporter of me and a great friend and helping me out with the channel and my big 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Thank you to Steve of Super Unimportant Reviews for helping me get that giant Kong. That's one of my top figures of the year. And once again, thank you to Ultrazilla Jr. and thank you to my wife for not divorcing me, for spending this much money and this much time on toys. Till next time, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace out, peeps.